Hey, what's up, Raspbernites? It is finally time for your 500 subscriber Q&A. You pick your thank you answers. Today, on the Razman's Reality. I need to start off before we answer these questions by mentioning the fact that my camera is once again having this thing about it where I can't make long raw footage. So you're probably going to see some angle changes that are unintentional about these answers, and also you may see a dirty lens from here and there because I have to constantly turn the camera off and back on, but I will avoid that as much as I can. My first question comes from the M. Coleman 148, who asked, what is my favorite film of all time? Well, to be quite honest with you, I couldn't narrow it down to just one, so I have my top 3 films of all time, and I'll explain them and the reasons why I love them so much. First up, we have Ridley Scott's 1982 masterpiece, Blade Runner. A tremendous example of what to do right in a film. This is in the day before CGI effects, and you're just completely immersed in this world. And the acting is just absolutely flawless from everyone involved. Everything about this film is perfection. Next up, Phil Aidan Robinson's Field of Dreams. A perfect character movie that invokes emotion out of you. This does it better than any movie I've ever seen in my entire life. And the first time I saw this, I was about 8 years old. And still to this day, every time I see it, I choke up a little bit. And finally, the greatest masterpiece of all time. The only film ever in the history of filmmaking, in my opinion, to do everything right. Acting, storytelling, direction, special effects, cinematography, every piece of this is just an absolute masterpiece. And of course I'm talking about Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. There will be more on this to come. He also asked, who is your favorite director? That would be a tie between Ridley Scott and J.J. Abrams. His next question is, favorite actor and actress? Actor would be a tie between Michael J. Fox and Robert Downey Jr. 2 men who I think can take on any role and just make it a masterpiece. And actress is a tie between Mandy Moore and Amber Tamblyn. 2 very underrated actresses, and they don't get nearly the credit that they deserve. In my opinion, in order to judge them, watch their best work. From Amber Tamblyn, that would be a tie between the series Joan of Arcadia and the film Spiral. And for Mandy Moore, A Walk to Remember. And his final question is, if I had the power to change any movie, what would it be? Well, I'm nowhere near as big a He-Man fan as I am of things like Batman, Ninja Turtles, and all of that. But I think I know enough about He-Man to know that the 1987 film, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, is utter crap. And I think I could make a far better film adaptation of it. My next question comes from Coors177, who asks, what's my least favorite movie ever? That would be AI from Steven Spielberg. Worst acting, worst script. I've never felt more sorry for anybody than I've ever felt for Haley Joel Osment. That thing was atrocious. My next questions come from MLJK21, who asks, what is my favorite sci-fi film and favorite sci-fi series? The answer to the film you've already seen, that's Blade Runner. The answer to the series is a tie between Star Trek The Next Generation and Lost. Now, some of you might be scratching your heads thinking, Lost, a science fiction show? Well, if you've never seen it, you can't judge it. But if you go from time traveling to unconscious beings to dead people coming back to life, you tell me that that's not a sci-fi show. His next question is, who is my favorite sci-fi character? That would be Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the Federation starship Enterprise. And his final question is, what kind of music do I listen to? Well, I love classic rock. My two favorite bands of all time are Nirvana and Metallica, in that order. But country music is the music that has been on in my house and in my room my whole life. My favorite artist of all time, Carrie Underwood, is a country music artist. So I guess if push come to shove, I would have to say country. Smoking the Graveyard asked, Kirk or Picard? Well, I think I just answered that with the answer to my favorite sci-fi character. If push comes to shove, I will absolutely say Captain Picard, because I think he is the most brilliantly written sci-fi character ever. Deeply layered, always went through a bunch of changes as ship captain. It was just really, really entertaining to watch. That being said, however, because of my love for The Next Generation, I did start to watch the original series, and I have a deep appreciation for William Shatner and even Chris Pine's portrayal of James T. Kirk. So I like them both, but again, if I have to choose, Captain Picard. At this point in the questions, I must iterate the fact that if you ask me a question which has already been answered, I will not answer it twice in an effort to save time. So the first question I can answer from our next viewer, X Movie Buffs X, is, what is my favorite Hitchcock film? That would be the original Psycho. His next question is, what is my favorite Stanley Kubrick film? The answer to that, hands down, is A Clockwork Orange, a masterpiece in every way. And his final question is, if I could punch any celebrity in the face, who would it be? That would be Dallas Cowboys quarterback, Tony Romo. The guy has broken the heart of my favorite person in the world, Carrie Underwood, and is just the scum of the earth. And even though Jessica Simpson stole Tony Romo from Carrie Underwood, he didn't treat Jessica Simpson right either. The guy just does not know how to treat women, and a guy like that rubs me the wrong way and deserves a swift punch in the face.